Welcome. You are welcome. Welcome to this live session. Good morning, America. In America, it's a good morning in America. It's a good afternoon, Nigeria, and some other African countries. You are welcome. Thanks for joining in. It's all about our health. So, thank you for joining in. You're welcome to this live session. Hey, who's here? Thank you for joining in. Do let me know where you are joining from. I know it's a good morning in America, in the United States, a good afternoon in Nigeria, and some other African countries. Okay, so we are looking at health in the United States of America. Interestingly, I have many subscribers to the channel who are based in the United States, and I, as a matter of commitment, I try as much as possible to show up within the time that is convenient for many people to watch my videos or watch a live session. So thank you for joining in. It's about health, wellness, and lifestyle. Just drop a comment in the chat if you can hear me. I can see two people or more now who are joined into this live. Do let me know if you can hear me. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay, thank you, Mapui Chanti. Thank you for the feedback. So I'm audible. Thank you so much. All right. So, Chanti, if I'm right, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? I'm so glad you're here with us on this live. Do let me know where you're joining in from. Am I audible now? Hello? Hello, Anna Pio. Hello. Thank you for joining in. Do let me know if I'm audible. Mapui responded the other time. Am I still audible? So glad to have you here. Thank you. Thank you for joining in and thank you for the like. Thank you for clicking on the like button. Okay, I know we have quite a number of people who are joining in on this live. How many subscribers? Others may be finding this channel for the first time. Okay, so it's about health, wellness, and lifestyle. Okay, sometimes we go a little outside that, but really, many things that we do in life are actually connected to our health. And according to the World Health Organization, and I love that definition so much, that health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, health comprises a lot of things, and those are some of the things that we consider on this channel. Talking about your physical health, your mental health, your social life and health, And of course, there is the spiritual side of our lives, which are the major foundation to our health. So let me know where you are joining from. And it looks like the focus of this session is on the United States, talking about health in the United States of America. Quite a number of subscribers on this channel, and I believe many more will be joining in, uh, based in the United States of America. And then there's a lot, of course, a lot happening in the United States. Um, Recently, there was the voting that took place for the incoming new president of the United States. Okay, so how is it in the United States today? I know it's morning in the United States of America. So if you are just waking and or you are at work or somewhere in between, let me know in the chat box. Okay, so how are things with you? How is your health? Okay, how are you ensuring that you are maintaining a good health, even considering your location, your activities, your profession, your family life, your social life? So let's know in the chat box. Now, there are many health problems, and irrespective of location, irrespective of race, irrespective of gender, or even age, irrespective of status, many health conditions exist uh, globally. And same way someone can develop hypertension in Nigeria, another can develop hypertension in Nigeria, in the United States, or any other part of the world. Okay, so what are the things that are really happening when it comes to the health of Americans, not necessarily natives? I'm talking about people who live in the United States of America. It's a different place entirely. I've never been to the United States, and of course, but I have a lot of information, just like you may also have about politics in America, about health in America, about sports in America. So, and we have quite a number of people who are even into health matters on YouTube and other platforms who talk a lot about health. Okay, so if you can hear me, then you should watch closely what we are talking about today. And wherever you may be, whether in the United States or uh, outside the United States, this is something that we all need to know. Okay, you may even have, even if you are not in the United States, you have relatives, you have family members who are in the United States. Okay, so well, there are lessons, there are necessary information that we all need to know and have regarding health, which will not just be helpful for those in the United States of America, but for everyone. All right, so information is powerful, information is important, information is key, especially for life and regarding health matters. Okay, so having defined what health is, there are so many factors that influence the health of individuals. So there are determinants of health, including genetics, environmental factors, and social factors, uh, financial factor. So many other factors are there that affect the health of individuals. communities, and even nations. Okay, remember the COVID-19 pandemic, 2020, and how this was a global thing affecting the health of many. So there are certain health conditions that, even though seem to be more common in some regions, however, they may be found in other regions of the world. Okay, thank you for joining in. Welcome to this live session. Thank you for clicking on the like button. I appreciate this. Power and redemption. Thank you for joining in. How are you today? And how is your family? How is your health? How is YouTube treating you? So I say, well done to you. Yesterday we had some interesting discussions on content creation, content creators. But today we are looking at health in the United States of America. As I mentioned before you joined in, that quite a number of subscribers to this channel are based in the United States, and then many watching, and quite a number also watching from different parts of the world. Okay, but the information here today does not only apply to those who are based in the United States of America. Power Redemption, are you in the United States? I think you are in the United States. Kindly confirm your location. Power and Redemption. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for bringing the gospel uh, alive in the practical sense to the world. It's a great work you are doing. Please keep it up. And I appreciate all your support and everyone uh, watching videos, subscribing, commenting, asking questions, sharing. Okay. Thank you for the love. All is well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? Thank you. Power and Redemption. You're welcome. I'm doing great. Thank you. It's been a bit of less of clinical work, and okay, so I feel a bit relaxed. The pressure of work and patients not as much. Okay, so I thought it's important to keep in touch with the community and then share some information, available information with those in the United States and everyone who, the member of this community, everyone who will be joining this live, the common health problems in the United States. Interestingly, the first on the list is heart disease, or we say cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular diseases are common. They are not just common in the United States, they are common all over the world. And this includes conditions like hypertension, um, heart, myocardial infarction, people having a heart attack, um, other heart-related problems, heart enlargement, and these are actually becoming a burden to the world, not just the United States. And there are different factors that are responsible for this, and it's been projected that in the coming decades, there is a tendency to have um, greater numbers developing hypertension and cardiovascular diseases. So the important thing to note that the cause of these cardiovascular diseases are also common, and there are things that we can all identify and relate with. The first is physical inactivity. Yes, physical inactivity. Kindly let me know if I'm audible. Is my audio clear enough, or do I need to change something? Please let me know in the comments, in the chat box. Caleb Wachi, thank you for joining in. Welcome to this live. Welcome, everyone. Okay, Kilebuachi, thank you for joining in. Thank you. And Power and Redemption is saying hello to you, waving to you, Caleb. So it's a wonderful community we have here, and sure we should connect with one another, and then it's healthy to have a, a good or great social community or social life. It's part of what helps our health. There's always a need to relax, to go outside of yourself in life. Madam Olafisayo Alabi, thank you for joining in. Welcome to this live. Saying, well done, sir. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for your greetings. Thank you for your comments. How are you doing? How are you today? How is your family? How is your work, business, and all that is connected to you? Well done, too. Thank you. So, we are talking about health, wellness, and lifestyle. And the focus of this session is common health problems in the United States of America. And this is of concern to me, and it's part of my commitments because a great number of my subscribers or subscribers to this channel or members of this community are based in the United States. So we started with talking about heart diseases. Okay, so it could be just hypertension, which is not ordinary. Okay, hypertension can lead to certain complications like development of a stroke and even a heart attack. So it can lead to kidney problems. So we need to look at these conditions and see how we can position ourselves to avoid, and for those that have diagnosis of such medical conditions, how they can manage these conditions. Thank you for casting your votes on the poll. Thank you for subscribing, watching health, wellness, and lifestyle videos. Thank you. And for those or that person that's yet to subscribe, remember to subscribe so that you can get regular notifications. You will be forced to be notified when I come up live like this or when I upload a new video. Thank you. So thank you. Let's move on. Now, there are different risk factors for developing a heart disease. Physical inactivity is one because one of the things that we should understand is that God has not actually created us to be inactive. God has created us humans to be working. We are supposed to be engaged because God Himself is a working God. He started with creation, and then when it got to the time for rest, He took time to rest. Okay, and that is the established pattern for man. So, if there is inactivity, it's an abnormal state. A state of inactivity for a prolonged period is an abnormal state. So, physical inactivity can put an individual at risk of becoming overweight, lack of exercise, which is a form of physical activity, can lead to stiffness of joints, poor circulation. Normally blood circulation will improve as you exercise or engage in certain physical activities. You are able to receive more supply of blood to other organs in your body as your heart pumps blood. So people who are obese, not just overweight, and that's talking about body mass index that is now greater than 30 kilograms per meter square. People who are obese in different classes, becoming overweight is a stage, but getting to becoming obese is now another level, and this puts individuals at risk of developing a heart disease. Smoking is also a risk factor for developing a heart disease. Excessive alcohol consumption. Okay, welcome back. Let me know if I'm audible, still audible. And let me know if I'm still audible. Am I still audible? Am I still audible? I will drop in the chat box if you can hear me. Do let me know if I'm still audible. Am I audible? Okay, so I continue as I believe that you can hear me. So what's important to note is that heart disease is a leading cause of um, disease and cause of death in the United States and even globally. Okay, so you need to note that. And the ways to prevent developing a heart disease begins with the need to, uh, first of all, you need to do a checkup, have a checkup, a medical checkup on yourself, where you're going to have a doctor interact with you, taking a history, and then conducting a proper examination, and then also running some relevant investigations to check for any risk or any presence of a cardiovascular disease. Next is the need to engage in physical activities. So, sedentary lifestyle is said to be the new smoking, and the risk factors, different risks that are associated with people who smoke are now said to be associated with people who are inactive. And in this present world, there is every tendency to be inactive, where you can get to do many things within your space, in your own room, your own house. You can have your office there. You can work remotely. And okay, excuse me. Okay, welcome back. Now, I was talking about the things to do to prevent getting heart disease. Okay, apart from doing a checkup to find out if you have any heart related condition, there's a need to there's a need to also watch your diet. Your diet actually should be a healthy one, which you know, but talking about a healthy diet means that you should do 50% of vegetables and fruits, while 25% of your plate will be your carbohydrates, and then 25% of protein. Then it's important to include such things like nuts, like cashew nuts, granuts. Of course, you should do low fat food intake. You can do air frying rather than frying with oil, and preferably you go for low cholesterol oils. And there are a number of nutritionists that are available for you to contact and get very good meal plans. Okay, so but you can't take that decision to eat healthily, and that will go a long way to help you in preventing heart disease. Next, common health conditions in the United States of America. One common one now is obesity. That's where a person is not just overweight, but they have a weight that is far greater than the height as expected for their height. So if we are talking about obesity, the individual needs to be measured appropriately, the height in meters, meter square, and then the weight should be noted. And so there is that calculation of using weight over height in square. And so once it's greater than 30 kilograms per meter square, it's obese. Okay, but normal should be between 18 and 25 kilograms per meter square. So once it's above that, it's being overweight. And then anything above 30 is now being obese. And there are other classes of obesity. There's something we call morbid obesity. So when that individual is now getting to 40 and above 40 kilograms per meter square. So now obesity is also an independent risk factor for developing cardiovascular diseases. Now, what are the reasons for developing obesity? It could be genetic actually, and then it could also be related to diet, environmental factor, all these factors that we mentioned earlier, living a sedentary lifestyle. Okay, so foods high in calorie diets, um, and then sedentary lifestyle, genetic predisposition. These are causes of an individual developing obesity. Now, the individual with obesity is at risk of developing a heart disease, as I mentioned earlier. It's also at risk of developing diabetes. Individual is also at risk of developing a cancer. So what should you do as an individual, even if you are living in the United States or any other parts of the world? If you are going to prevent this medical condition, then you should know that it's important to eat healthily. Healthy eating, physical activities are very important. Okay, so talking about healthy eating, you should do portion control to avoid becoming overweight. So you should do portion control. And for adults, you should avoid eating late. And eating late, you can choose to take your dinner earlier than 7 p.m. And when you do that, it helps your body to process your food better, earlier and better, so that you are at lower risk of developing becoming overweight or developing obesity. So portion control is very critical to avoiding this condition. Next, when it comes to health matters, health conditions common in the United States of America is diabetes. Diabetes is not just a medical condition, a chronic medical condition affecting people globally. It's common in the United States of America, especially type 2 diabetes, and then the risk factors, the causes of uh, people developing diabetes are still related to these other conditions that I mentioned earlier. I'm talking about hypertension, of being overweight or obese, and then diabetes. They're like triplets, you know. Sometimes that's why you find out that if someone is hypertensive, sometimes they could also be diabetic. If somebody is diabetic, they could also develop hypertension because the risk factors for developing these conditions are related. They are related. So that's why changing habits, doing what is needful will help to handle, to prevent, and to manage these health conditions appropriately. So the measures still are the same. Okay, so causes of diabetes will include obesity, poor diet, sedentary lifestyle, as mentioned earlier, will also be genetic. So it means that if one person in a previous generation had diabetes, there's a possibility that in the next generation or two generations after or later generation, another person could develop that condition. Louisa is here. Welcome, Louisa. Louisa says, hi, Doc. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Louisa. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in once again. Yesterday we were together and it was an interesting session. You joined us later, but since you are joining a bit earlier today, please let me know if you can still hear me. Am I audible? Is my audio clear? Do let me know if I'm audible. So, how are you today, Louisa, and everyone just joining in? Let's know where you are joining us from on this live. Okay, yes. You can hear me. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you so much. So, we are talking about health matters and looking at common health problems in the United States of America. And this, as I said at the beginning, is not just an information for people in the United States, and it's information that we all need as the principles that are being shared are important for everyone and can help to prevent developing these common medical conditions. Now, Lisa says, I'm doing well. So good to know. Glory to God. Now, Louisa, remember to double tap on your screen to like this session, and you can cast your vote on the poll. Let's know whether you are subscribed. Of course, you mentioned yesterday on watching the playlist. I think there's a bit of adjustment to the playlist, and there are a number of videos available for you to watch. Um, Videos on hypertension, videos on sexual health, videos on sleep, videos on uh, food, eating patterns, and there are other videos there. Remember to check them out and watch. Thank you, Louisa, for your support. Now, you say you are waiting for the playlist. Louisa, I think you can check now. You can check I think the playlist should be available, or are you still unable to find playlist on hypertension, playlist on sexual health, on sleep? So let me know in the chat. The one I saw yesterday was just a few videos in it. Hmm. Okay, the one you saw yesterday was just a few videos. Okay, please check now. There seems to be some more videos there, long form videos in the in the playlist now. Okay, I should add more as soon as possible. But I was able to put up some yesterday since you requested you are interested in watching the playlist. Thank you, Louisa, for your support. Now, we are still looking at type 2 diabetes being a common medical condition in the United States, in people living in the United States. And then ways to prevent developing diabetes still include weight management, eating a balanced diet, and regular exercise. These are very important practices that will help in the prevention of diabetes. Next, that's the fourth on the list of common health problems in the United States of America is mental health problems. People are depressed, people are anxious, some people even have what we call bipolar disorder. They are low and they are high, that there's a mix. So there is a lot of campaign that is ongoing to help people with such mental problems to be free to come out, to speak, to be identified, and to be supported. And it's a major aspect of our health generally, our mental health. So those are some of the common things. Some people also at risk of suicide. It's also a mental health issue. Okay, so the causes also include genetics. There's a possibility of depression being genetic, and then there is the aspect of individual factor, personal factor, stress factor, how individuals are able to handle stress. And then we have different responses that people have towards stress. So if stress is not well handled, if stress is prolonged, it could lead to burnout, and that can cause a lot of disturbances in the mental states of an individual. So it's important to note these factors, societal pressures, demands here and there, and if an individual is not able to come above these pressures, then the individual is at risk of developing mental health issue. Some people even have what we call acute stress disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder. These are mental health conditions related to stress. So we must learn to be able to handle stress. But some people actually have some remarkable or traumatic life events that define them. Somebody experiencing a rape, for example, somebody losing a parent at a young age. These are traumatic events and could define the mental state of the individual. So, what should you do? Note that if you don't take action or take note of this, mental health disorder can actually affect your effectiveness and productivity in life, in your career. Okay, Louisa is here saying sexual health playlist is just three videos. We need to add more. We need to add more to that. Okay. So, Louisa, what are you expecting? Is it just one playlist that contains uh, what number of videos? Um, I thought you could move from one playlist to another to watch videos. Do you want just one playlist that contains many videos, or as uh, they have been grouped into uh, that one on hypertension, and then on sexual health, on sleep, on obstetrics and gynecology, and all that. Okay. Lisa says you can create a playlist of all your videos. Okay. Now I get that. Thank you, Louisa. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm going to ensure to do that. A playlist of all the videos here. Now see who is here. Dave is here saying, Doctor. Yes, Dave, thank you for coming back or joining in right on time. Yes, I'm not sure we have gone halfway yet. Okay, but yeah, just on time. So thank you for joining in once again, Dave. Thank you for yesterday and your support with Louisa. Louisa is here also. So Louisa says once these three plays now, and once these three plays now and I'm not there, it would either stop or go play other people's videos, which is not what is expected. Okay, now I understand what you are saying, Louisa. Okay, so it should contain a lot of videos such that it doesn't cut off at the point and move to another channel video. Okay, thank you for that. So I'm going to work on that one playlist today. Thank you, Louisa. So you say it won't alter your existing playlist at all. Okay, so it won't alter my existing playlist. Wow, that's interesting. I'm just getting to know that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Louisa, for that information. Dave says, I'm late though. I'm here. Yes, you're here. Welcome, Dave. Welcome, Dave. Welcome, Dave. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for your support always, for the comments, for the likes, for the encouragements. So grateful. So grateful. Okay. So he said, better late than never. Dave says, better late than never. Yes, so true. So it's better to still make adjustments for a healthy life than to never make that adjustment, because it could mean a lot of things um, for the rest of an individual's life. So I would like a long playlist that I can leave running while sleeping or stepping out. Very true. Thank you for that, Louisa. Okay, so that even where you are not there, it's playing, and playing. Thank you so much. Louisa says, Hi, Dave. And then Dave says, Oh, yeah, greetings. So let's connect, let's exchange greetings. If you are just joining us, you're welcome. This is Health, Wellness, Lifestyle, and we are talking about common health problems of people in the United States. And if you are in the United States, let's know. And then if you are not, let's know where you are joining us from. It's a wonderful community of health enthusiasts, and I have other content creators here. Louisa is here, Dave is here, passionate about what they do, family, health, faith. Dave, um, about plants, right? And um, just doing so much about nature. Thank you, Dave. You say I have to visit you, doctor, for my health always. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. So thank you for being a loyal member of this community. So talking about diabetes is one of the leading causes of. Okay, we'll talk about that. If we are on the fourth point, that's the mental health issues, and then some of the I was talking about the effects of poor mental health. It will lead to reduced productivity. It can lead to strains in relationships and also put people at risk of suicide. Okay, now what should be done to prevent or manage mental health issues? And it's important to consult appropriately with your doctor. Um, doctor, if it's a family physician, may handle to a level, and if necessary, you should be seen by a behavioral medicine doctor or a specialist in psychiatry who will help you to really get a clear definition of your condition and help you with various management measures and protocols available. Talking about use of meditation, biopsychosocial approach to your management, use of meditation, mindfulness, and then stress reduction approaches to managing different therapies for managing these mental health conditions, and of course medications where required, where necessary. So Dave says a doctor's mission should be not simply to prevent death but to improve the quality of life. This is powerful. This is powerful. Yes, I'll pin it. To not just prevent death, quality of life is important. So don't just say, "Oh, okay, I'll manage this." You must be committed to enjoying life because life is actually meant to be enjoyed and not endured. Okay, so you should be committed that way, just like your doctor should be committed to you having the best quality of life that you should have as an individual. And that's the plan of God for you and I. So, next thing is the need to consider the development of cancers. I mean, the global thing now, common diagnosis everywhere. And then in the United States, it's common, especially lung cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colorectal cancer. And these are still related to lifestyle factors, which are smoking, poor diet, obesity, could also be genetic, and then, of course, environmental. A lot of exposures to toxins, smokes, and then other carcinogenic substances in the environment. Okay, so what should you do? You should avoid smoking, and not just avoid smoking, avoid, there's something called secondary smoking. You should avoid staying in environments where there's a lot of smoking. Exposure to smoke puts an individual at risk of developing cancer. Now, regular screening is also important for men, at least from the age of 40, they say 45, and it's important to actually check your prostate and be sure that there's that increase, that there's a tendency, but you need to check and monitor, and even the serum prostate specific antigen may be done to also assess your prostate. Scan usually is done also to check for the size of your prostate. So screening is important. Breast screening, ultrasound scan of the breast for women, and then below the age of 40 and above for women, mammography even for men also, because some men are also at risk of developing breast cancer. So it's not common, it's not as common as in women, the female. So regular screening is important, and of course, maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Remember to double tap on your screen so that we can have more likes for this session. Talking about health problems in the United States, let's talk. Let's chat. Let's connect. Next is respiratory diseases, and these commonly are chronic obstructive diseases. There is the bronchial asthma, which is also related to the environment. It could be genetic, however, it could also be related to exposure to smoke, to different toxins, air pollution, also related to people who handle animals, dogs, poultry. People are at risk of getting in contact with allergens that can make them to have a trigger of asthma. Okay, and the impact of this on health is such that it will definitely affect the quality of life of the individual, because it's like a chronic medical disorder. And if an individual has recurrent exposure to the trigger factors, such an individual will have recurrent attacks, which is not good for the quality of life that the individual desires or deserves. So, what can happen? Difficulty in breathing. Some people even have lost their lives from having an attack of bronchial asthma. So, it could be that severe. So, what can you do? Avoid smoking, avoid exposure to smoke, identify trigger factors. Some people, poultry, handling of poultry may need to be changed. Dogs, domestic animals, cats, these are things that may need to be avoided. And then you also need to limit exposure to pollutants everywhere. Okay, you can use your face mask appropriately, and when you have prescription, ensure to use your prescriptions inhaler as recommended by your doctor. Okay, so Dave says that's why I always visit you professional. Okay, thank you, Dave, for uh, being wise, because that's wisdom to seek information, to seek um, appropriate help and assistance where you need to, where you can find one. Thank you. Next is stroke. Talking about health problems common in the United States. Stroke, of course, this does not exist on its own. Stroke is a complication from different medical conditions. It could be from poorly managed hypertension. It could be from sickle cell anemia. It could be from diabetes. Okay, so it's important to note that other conditions mentioned earlier, heart disease, diabetes, you put an individual at risk of developing a stroke. So what does this do? This can lead definitely to disability if the part of the brain that is affected is the one that involves movement. Then the individual may be paralyzed on one on particular side, depending on the affected side. If it's the speech, individual can also have their speech affected, and it could lead to cognitive impairment and even death if it is not just. Well, there are two types. It could be hemorrhagic stroke, or the venous, the one of clotting, where blood flow is restricted to the areas affected. So if it's hemorrhagic, then there's a bleeding that may occur. So in such a situation, an individual may actually uh, die from that if there's no intervention. Okay. Next. is hypertension, talking about common health problems. Okay, we talk about the management together and the prevention of stroke and then hypertension. Hypertension, otherwise known as high blood pressure, risk factors include obesity, high sodium diet, and stress. It could also be genetic. This can have great impact on the heart and also lead to development of a stroke. So what should be done? Reduce sodium diet, reduce as much as possible, ensure regular exercise, stress management is very important. Ensure good blood pressure control to prevent stroke, and then healthy diets and exercise are also important. Okay, so apart from the bleeding, like I mentioned earlier, that may occur in the brain to lead to death, uh, the individuals who have their brain or part of their brain being affected because there's a blockage, then such individuals may have loss of function in that particular part. So such people may benefit from physiotherapy. Okay, if there is ischemic stroke having been ruled out hemorrhagic stroke with a brain scan. Okay, so it's important to seek professional management for such conditions. Next is chronic kidney disease. Hypertension, diabetes can lead to chronic kidney disease, and this can lead to kidney failure, and the individual need to have dialysis and all that. Okay, so you should note that proper management of these health conditions, diabetes, hypertension, will help to prevent chronic kidney disease. Another common problem in the United States is substance abuse. A lot of abuse of alcohol, tobacco smoking, and these are related to social factors, social environment, people being influenced to engage in these habits because of the kind of relationship they are engaged in and the kind of social life that is encouraged in that environment. So stress could also make people to get into substance abuse. Emotional factors. Now, the impact is such that it can affect different organs in the body. It can affect the liver, can affect the kidney, can affect the respiratory system. So, depending on what the individual is consuming or abusing the kind of substance. So, what do we need to do? There should be more of education, awareness on the risk associated with substance abuse, and people with such issues need proper education, identification, and rehabilitation, and this will go a long way to help. Next is osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is another common health problem in the United States. Of course, this is related to people who are overweight, who are obese, and it's also related to age, especially in women, because the hormones that help to support the bone are not longer there or as high as when they were in their reproductive age group, before menopause especially. So aging, reduction in calcium levels, vitamin D deficiency, and lack of physical activities are factors which may predispose an individual to developing osteoporosis. Now, there's an increased risk of developing or having a fracture of the bones in individuals with osteoporosis. And of course, it affects their mobility actually, affect their mobility. So, what do you do to prevent this? You need to ensure that you are eating a balanced diet. We should include calcium-based meals, um, bones, eggs, vitamin D intake is also important, and there are some supplements that can help to make up for this if they are not sufficient. Now, weight bearing exercises should also be done to balance your bones. On a final note, on those common problems in the United States, health problems, Alzheimer's disease, the brain problem, and dementia, they are related to age, aging. Aging is physiological usually, and then it's related to genetics. There are many people that have some of these conditions because someone somewhere in the generation have had it. So it's genetic. It could also related to lifestyle choices. Okay, like we talk about alcohol intake, smoking, substance abuse can put an individual at risk, and poor management of certain medical conditions will put an individual at risk of uh, Alzheimer's dementia. So the impact is that the individual will have memory loss, and there could be a cognitive decline, and then of course dependency. So these individuals are not really fulfilling, they are not having that sense of fulfillment and satisfaction with themselves because they have to depend on another. They have to get support to be able to get things done, done for themselves. Now, prevention, how do you prevent developing this kind of condition? Brain healthy diet is very important. Mediterranean diet is very important. Regular exercise and mental health stimulation. These are very important things to note when it comes to health problems associated with those living in the United States. So, if you have not, if you have never been diagnosed of any of these conditions, I'm so happy for you. So, you can actually live and maintain that healthy lifestyle to ensure that you do not develop these medical conditions. And if you have, then you should know that you must necessarily relate with your doctor for proper management. Follow up is very important when it comes to chronic medical disorders. Okay, addressing these problems is not just something that is solely for the individual. It requires support, community support, family support, friends. It requires need for the government um, policies to help people to make choices, healthy choices, and this will go a long way to help in reducing the risk of these medical conditions. So I'm sure you've been finding this information helpful. So I'm adjusting this video right now. This phone camera. Okay. 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 Good. Okay. All right. So let me know your thoughts. I hope you got some vital information there to help you to make better choices. for your health. So thank you everyone who joined in this session. I'm so grateful for your time and your attention. And I wish you a better health, a stronger body. And as we move towards 2025, uh, that encourage you to make more healthy choices and, of course, for you to enjoy your life better. Thank you. If you are yet to subscribe, remember you can subscribe to this channel for health, wellness, and lifestyle videos. And of course, you get notified when I come up live. And then you can also ask questions. You can drop your comments, and I'm sure you will get some responses to those questions. And then your comments will be well appreciated. Remember, you can also share this channel link with others who you know may benefit from the information that we are sharing here. So we're closing this session this time. We will catch up again shortly. We'll catch up again, and uh, let's have a break now. Thank you all. Bye for now.